during one of my depression times. In other words, I'm feeling depressed, and I want to talk about it. It's going to help me if I talk about it, and hopefully help somebody else. Right. First of all, in my experience, I've been feeling depressed on and off for a year plus now. Well, no, longer than that, obviously, but it's been intense for a year plus now because of a medication problem. Excuse me, my mouth is dry. And what I want to say straight away is, in my experience, I can't speak about tomorrow, but in my experience, it always passes by. It always goes. And yeah, you're probably right in thinking that right now, this moment, though, I don't feel like that. I feel like everything is going to stay like this now for forever. And when I say depression, what I'm feeling at the moment is like I want to go outdoors, but I don't want to go outdoors. I want to stay in, but I hate staying in. I feel lonely. I feel sad. I've got an aching, horrible feeling in my belly. How does it feel? Whenever I think about doing anything that might make me feel better, I think about that thing that I want to do, and all I can feel is a yucky feeling. A yucky feeling like I want to not do that thing. And at the same time, I want to do something, so I don't do anything. And that then may get worse. It gets worse and worse, and it gets to the point where I panic and I don't know what to do. It makes me suicidal, yes. I don't follow it through because I have much more to gain by staying here. And what I mean by that is, if I die through taking my own life, I am not fighting to stay here. And I believe that fighting to stay here is important. I believe that we have to overcome these things, if you know what I mean. We have to overcome our problems. We have to notice my right eye is drooping a lot. Strange. But anyway, I want to fight this. I want to, if I'm like this for the rest of my life, I want to stay here until I'm taken, not until I decide. I want to carry on doing it. I don't feel happy about that. I wished it wasn't here. I wish the feeling wasn't here. I wished it would go away. I wished I was happy. I wished lots of little things, but nothing is inspiring me to feel like nothing is wrong. Everything is making me feel sad. I'm scared. I'm scared of moving. Will it get worse? Will it get better? If will it get worse if I stay here, and will it get better if I move? So I don't end up moving. I become it become, it's kind of hard talking on this video, but not as hard as I thought it would be. Trying to think about what to talk about. So, I have hobbies that I like doing. The thought of doing them hobbies is just, it's painful to me. It's hard to explain. There's no joy in me. There's nothing. And excuse me, I want to turn the fan on because talking about it makes me hot as well. It makes me uncomfortable because all I can think about is, I'm sorry for being like this. I just want to clearly make it straight as the way I feel, and I'm finding that hard to find the right words. As long as you know, anybody who's watching this for the same reason I'm making this video, as long as you know you're not on your own, what you're feeling is not, you're not the worst, you haven't got the worst feeling of what you're feeling in the world. Is that the right words? There are other people feeling the same way. Now that may help you feel better. Kind of helps me sometimes. But what have I got to look forward to? I mean, I've got a son, and the thought of my son being there, I don't see him hardly because he lives far away. He lives about 100 miles away. But I can talk to him whenever I want. And I don't want to at the moment because I just feel so rubbish. But I can talk to him if I want to. And he can talk to me if he wants to. And that makes me feel better in a way. But I wish this feeling didn't overcome me. It's like a cloak. And during this conversation now, it does this. It's very strange. It can come and go. And I think to myself, oh, is that it? Is it gone again? Or it's like waves and windows. But the majority of the time, though, even though it is fluctuating, it is increased overall, the feeling, the depression. But like I say, in my experience, that will taper off and go down again. We shall see. What if it didn't, though? That's the thing, innit? If it didn't, if it got worse every day, I would adapt. I would look for ways to adapt and get through. Like I say, I'm not giving up, and neither should you. I can't tell you what to do with your life, but don't give up. Do not give up. If you give up, then it's a chance wasted. Now, what does that mean? I know what it means, but what does that mean to you? In other words, what if the pain, the depression is a gift? Bear with me a minute here. Gifts are supposed to make us feel better, are they? Anything given to us is given to us so we have a result comes from that. Now, what does the depression do for me? The depression makes me feel ill, but it also is like I want to improve, I want to be better. Not because I feel motivated to do that, because I don't, but because I have no real choice. I once got told that the depression is a way that when Now I don't know whether I believe this, but it makes sense in some ways. When we were low on food in the past, say for instance, or in third world countries now, or when we are in danger, how do we stop? How do we stop in our tracks and not move? Now, yeah, you can freeze, you can be anxious and whatnot, but how do you do the long game? If you're depressed, you shut down. And can that be protective? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. What I do know though is, if you if you're feeling sad, you want to retreat. You don't want to tackle. You don't want to. Now that could fall under the thing of fight or flight, which I also feel as well. I get that a lot, and that makes you feel like you want to sit down, you can't sit down. You want to stand up, you can't stand up. You want to scream, you want to shout, and you panic. And it's basically fight or flight. It's like something's outside the door ready to pounce, but there's nothing there, and obviously that passes, but it doesn't feel like it's gone out at the time. Same as the depression. What I would say though is like I say here, right? You're not on your own. You're part of this group of people on this planet who, for whatever reason, suffer, and we've all got. Listen, we can reach out. We can find other people who are depressed. I know that sounds a bit strange, but talking helps me a lot. When I'm talking to people, I can get a connection. Now, I do have a problem with trust. I don't know if that's linked to the depression, but I don't think it is. But I find it hard to trust people because when I do trust somebody, it's an impulsive thing that happens. I don't turn it on or off. It comes when I like that person, don't feel in any fear of being around that person. But then the moment that happens, I know from experience that person generally then lets me down, because I can be annoying, so can they, or I can be hard. If I'm like this, I can be generally your friend wants you to be friendly all the time. Now you may say, now while I'm saying that, a good friend wouldn't want that. A good friend would want to be there for you and support you. I find that hard to find. I haven't really found anybody like that. I found a few female friends like that who help me, but even they get annoyed. And why wouldn't they? Who wants to spend the time around someone who's depressed unless they have to? Anyway, I'm single. It would be lovely to have a partner who, I was married in 2016. I've made videos about this where I lost my wife. And obviously that doesn't help things like depression, does it? But the grief of that has improved dramatically on cue with what people say. The grief of me losing Cassie has nullified now, but there's not a day that goes by, you've heard this before, there's not a day that goes by where I don't think about her. I still love her. In fact, I don't refer to her as was, I always refer to her as she's still here. I make an effort to do that because I believe she is. And when or if, or hopefully not, you lose somebody, you'll know what I mean, somebody you love dearly, and it's not nice, but you do get through that as well. You do, 100%. You'll get better with that. Fight it, stay strong, and keep people around you with the grief. But we're talking about depression here, aren't we? Now, as I'm talking to you here, I'm feeling better, a little bit better, and it's gone on now for a few minutes. Talking therapy? I don't know what's happening. I'm doing something worthwhile. I mean, I want to also, I want to work. I want to work in this line as well. I want to help people who are going through this. And over in the UK, probably in America as well, the qualification to do this type of work is life experience. I can become something called a peer support worker. Somebody who helps people through a hard time. Not necessarily people who are dealing with alcoholism or drugs, but I believe it's part of that as well, and I'm willing to do that because it's a worthwhile thing. It's a worthwhile thing to do that. I used to be a web developer, and at the moment I can't do that. It's just too much hard work. Too much hard work. Too stressful. So when I get well, I'm looking forward to being, like I say, a peer support worker. But I also want to refer to you as well here. As well. Think about what it now. Like I say, if you're feeling depressed, it's not going to help much. But try and think about ways. Try and think about tomorrow and what it is you can improve today to make tomorrow a better day for yourself. It could be anything. It could be a small thing. For me, luckily, nice things seem daft. I don't know if you've noticed. Probably not, because I'm fantastically super fit. But I've got a bit of timber on. Now, I've been thinking about losing my weight, improving my health. I've been doing it all my life. I'm 50 now. And yeah, part of the depression was saying to me, "You've been doing this all your life and you've not got any." I've had days where I've improved. I've lost my weight. In fact, I lost all my weight 3 or 4 times in my life. But I'm naturally a fat person, believe it or not. The thing is, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get it off. And with that, not necessarily now at this moment, but I can look forward to improving my life with other ways. I can walk further. I can swim. I love swimming. I can do them sorts of things. I can. But I ride a bike as well. I've got an electric bike, which is affordable if you buy the parts for an electric bike. Don't buy the full bike, because that costs about £3,000 over here for a good one. But an electric bike, I found you can go further. Obviously, there is one negative about an electric bike. If you're using it like I do to lose weight, it's not very good for that. Obviously, it's better than nothing. The best form of exercise, if you were a biker though, is riding a non-electric, just a standard bike. You do burn a lot more calories that way. So anyway, so the things. So I started watching. Now this is a bit morbid. I started watching shows called, like the one I'm watching at the moment is My NDE Showed Me No Religion, No Dogma, Simply Love with Nancy Ryan. Now, they're NDE YouTube videos, and an NDE is a near-death experience. Why do I watch these? It's because I know, because of why I believe in, I know there is something after death, but I like to see because people living a lot longer now because of medicine, and a lot of people experience death, total brain death, total heart death for minutes, several minutes, and they're brought back. And a lot of these people, not all of them, a lot of these people talk about an experience on the other side, as we call it, and it's fascinating. And what helps me with that is because scientists will always say it's a type of an hallucination, even though they don't know what hallucinations are, or they'll say it's brain chemistry, and they don't even know what that means themselves. But what means something to me is that all these people who have the NDEs have similar experiences. They all experience an out-of-body type of thing. The majority of them experience seeing their own body and wondering who that is, who's laying there with no life, and they don't believe it's them. A lot of them people are on the ceiling of the hospital listening to the doctors talking about them after they've been pronounced dead. From there, the similar experience is that something else, another presence comes along, often a person or a feeling or something, but it's always a presence. It's always somebody comes along, shows the spirit a way forward, gives them the option, and says, follow me. Then they all often go through a tunnel, or they all go into they all see a light. They all see a light. Where the scientists say that's something to do with the iris and things. You see, they're reaching with that. So they all see a light. Then they go through to a realm where they meet people who they love, and they love, or they loved, or they meet lots of people, and there's presences with them explaining the rules, if you will, about what to do and what to expect. From there, it always ends with something telling them. The majority of them always say, and maybe it's all of them always say, it's like a telepathy tells them, telepathy from something there tells them that, sorry, but you now have to go back. Sometimes I've heard them saying that the thing has told them, God has told them that it's your choice. Would you like to go back? And then the person will remember they've got kids or they've got responsibilities that they can't let go of very easily. And obviously they go back because they wouldn't tell this story otherwise. But it's fascinating that they all are told that it's not their time. Tempted to say what's going on, but I know what's going on. We don't die. We don't die. Now that makes me feel so hopeful, because what a waste of time this would be. I mean, if this was all random. And how can this all be random? How can it all be random? If life was a fact that happens everywhere, then maybe life could pop up. But the mere idea that life is a fact is hypocritical to that negative view, because why would it be a fact then? There has to be a reason it's a fact. In other words, there's a purpose there. I've heard some people say, some scientists say, or physicists and whatnot, they'll say, but I can create life in the lab. No, it's not life in the lab. It's creating life from Lego. Not Lego pieces as in what that sounds like. The Lego of life. There's a story that I heard from somebody on the online recently, where a future scientist meets God, and says to God, I don't believe in you because I can make life. And God says, okay then, good, let's do that. So they both sit down, and God starts making life. So does the scientist. He starts looking around, he gets his test tubes and whatnot, and then he says to God, first thing he says to God is, he looks at what God's got and he says, could you pass me some of that earth? And God says, oh, hang on, get your own earth. And he says, could you pass me some of them cells over there? Could you pass me some of that water? No, get your own cells, get your own water. In other words, the scientist is just always going to be making things from what is already being created. The scientists look back and they find DNA and they say, see, we can make life if we get some DNA and we do this with it. And there's RNA, isn't there? There's all this. There's proof of evolution now. The good thing with evolution is, evolutionists will say, yeah, life comes from evolution. The good thing with evolution is, Evolution doesn't discredit God in any way at all. Evolution is a tool to allow life to evolve in an area specified for the needs of that creature, and that would be an excellent way of letting life adapt to the area. It's not saying that life comes about because of evolution. It's a tool in the process of life evolving to better itself, to survive and whatnot. It's not how life came about. How can nothing evolve into something? That's what the scientists are proposing. You've got the Big Bang. Everything came from the Big Bang, they call it, or the Big Expansion, which I prefer. Everything came from this single point. They've proven that everything came from a single point. And they'll say, right then, that's not very good for the evolutionists, because that proves that at some point there was nothing. So if everything came from that single point, there must have been a point of something there. So where did that point come from? It must have come from somewhere else. But before that, where it came from somewhere else, there must have been nothing at some point. So how do you create something from nothing? You must have something that is outside of things and time, space and time. If you've got something on the outside of space and time, that can then create something in space and time. And God is supposed to be, or God is, an alien outside of space and time. The Bible doesn't use the word alien. The Bible, says that Moses spoke and said and asked God, "What are you? Who are you?" And God said, I can't remember the exact words, but God said, "I am what I am. I'm not what you are. I don't think the way you don't think my thoughts, or you don't do my ways. I'm different." That's an alien. An alien is an extraterrestrial, something that lives off of the planet. But basically an alien is something that's different to us. And I've got a friend who argues with me. He doesn't believe in God. He shrugs it off all the time. And it becomes evident very quickly that this guy believes in things that suit his frame of mind. And I said to him, "So what do you believe in?" And he said, "Oh, well," he says, "I do believe that we were put here, though." I goes, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, I believe aliens put it as here." I said, "Okay." And I said, "What type of aliens?" He said, "Oh, I don't know." He said, "But, there's definitely life out there in space, and something put us out here." I said, "What, life on another planet?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Does all alien life have to be on another planet?" I said, "If that's the case," I said, "who put them there?" He says, "Oh, nobody put them there." I said, "You're not making no sense. You're just pushing everything back so that we seem more likely that we were put here." And he went, no, blah, 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 blah. And I said, "Yeah." I said, "You are." I said to him, "So what do you think God is?" And he went, "Oh, yeah, I don't get into that." And I said, "Well, go on, what do you think God is?" And he knows I'm a believer, and he said, "I don't know." And I said, "God is an alien, mate. God is an alien." He says, "Well, how can that be? How can God be living on a planet somewhere?" I said, "No, he's not living on a planet. He's outside of all that. He's better than all that. He's different." I know, well, he can see right with it. But still, he believes aliens put us here. Which is the easiest to think of. The aliens that just popped up out of nowhere put us here. So why can't we just pop up out of nowhere then, if that was the case? Because that's hard to understand, so put it on aliens. Or what is easier than that? So what's easier than that is that there's an agency, as they call it, outside of space and time that creates us. Do I understand that? No. But it makes much more sense than everything just coming about by chance, because thinking that this universe exists because of chance, wow. Wow. You know, the fine tuning just in the movement of the earth around the orbit of the sun. The fine tuning, if it was off just slightly, you know, there'd be no life, not the way we know of it. Life would be, you know, and that's if it even existed, but that's just one of, is it trillions of things fine-tuned? Gravity, fine-tuned. If it was slightly different by, I think, a 0.00 something, slightly different, the galaxies wouldn't have formed. Never mind life. Light, fine-tuned. Light wouldn't work if it wasn't exactly at the point it is. It wouldn't be light. It'd be scattered photons, or somebody could tell me in the comments, you know, what I'm trying to say. Because all I know is life is not a mistake. It's not an accident. And the evolutionists agree that life is not a mistake. So I say, therefore, it's got a purpose. It was put here for a reason. No, but it's not a mistake. But if something was accidentally created, then it is a mistake. Just because we see it as a useful thing doesn't make that less of a mistake. It's still, so, you know, I mean, why do we even see it that way? How are we here consciously observing all this? You know, we are God's two lesser creatures because we have some sort of control over them. We can create, we can do all the things that we say is impossible. We can already do them. We can do all the things that we see that, you know, a God would do. We can do them all, except not on such a grand scale and within the confines of life and space and time. We do all them things, so which is easy to understand. You know, life came about by accident, or that a proven observation. We're here doing the things that we find hard to believe, and that you know, there's another entity out there higher than us, just with the abilities that we've got to create, to observe, to be conscious of everything. You know, God is doing that as well. God's doing that, doing what we already do. We're here doing that on a lesser scale. We just haven't got the you know, the power He's got, but we're doing it on a lesser scale. Yeah. Anyway, so back to the depression. So I am feeling a bit depressed again, a little bit. But what can I say? It comes and goes. Like I say, I thought it was getting better. Talking is helping, for sure. You are an amazing person, though. How do I know that? I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't know me. But you're an amazing person. There's so much out there for you to do and to see and experience. Don't give up. Keep fighting the fight, because I will. And you probably think this video is a waste of time, but I want you to reach out. If you need to talk, please reach out. Please reach out, and I will answer every comment. Every person who asks a question, I will answer. I don't know if anybody will see this video, but hopefully the right people who need to see it will get something from it. You know, be strong. Keep going. It's a gift, this. It's a gift. Not a good gift, I know, but it's still a gift. It's a gift, and you've got to do something with it. We've got to do something with it. Something good. Let's unite, and let's be strong, and let's get through this together. I love you all. I really do. Anybody who's watching this, I really, really do. I want you all to be well. I want you all to get through this. So thank you for watching this video, if you have watched it. And I will be making more. Thank you. Thank you. Now, bye.